All right, welcome back. A reminder to always stay humble in life. Just 2 days ago, Nicolas Maduro was dancing in Caracas, behaving like this, and before he knew it, he looked like this. Something else, isn't it? Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, yet another example, catapulted to political relevance by a desperate Kamala Harris. The brain-dead Minnesota dunce went from dancing on stage on national television to effectively resigning from politics today. A year ago, he was the biggest thing ever, and today it's over. The billions stolen by Somalians in his state mean the end of the road for the 61-year-old who will forever be a picture of woke, pandering, left-wing incompetence. There is so much of that in this government, in this country. Here was Walz announcing he is no longer running for re-election next year.
But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. So I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year. I'm passing on this race with zero sadness and zero regret.
Yeah, zero sadness. I'm sure he feels great about it. Walz says the buck stops with him and his state, which has just become the epicenter of all of this fraud in this country. But just listen to this part of his big speech today. Listen to this.
I don't want to mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and in St. Paul and online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children. We've got the President of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongfully confiscating funds that Minnesotans rely on. It's disgusting and it's dangerous. I'm proud of the way we treat our neighbors. I'm proud of the way that we welcome people to this state. No one's taking this away from us. Not the fraudsters, certainly not this president, not on my watch.
What a joke. What a pitiful, pitiful man. Liz Collin is a Minnesota-based journalist with Alpha News. Her reporting has helped to blow the lid off of her corrupted, incompetent state government. She joins us now, former Minnesota Congressman Jason Lewis, who also has been blowing the whistle on this kind of fraud for nearly a decade while he was serving in the House. Also with us, good to have you both here. Jason, I'm going to start with you. You were saying that this long before anyone else. You were trying to get people to focus on this story.
What an amazing day from Maduro to Minneapolis. Right. I mean, how the mighty autocrats are falling. It really is quite amazing. And yeah, in 2018, we had information. Everybody knew it, including the Minnesota media, which Liz can speak to. They all knew it. Amy Klobuchar knew it. My successor in the 2nd District, Angie Craig, knew it. And they did nothing. So in that hearing, which has now gone a bit viral, thanks to the president, we said, look, maybe it's time to investigate Minnesota, investigate the federal child care development block grant, the community service block grant program, which we knew were being defrauded and money was being shipped out of Minnesota being MSP Airport with a number of eyewitness testimony going to that degree. And the HHS Secretary Azar at the time said, well, we're waiting on DHS to investigate this. They're going to get back to us, but we're trying to eliminate the community service block grant program. All right, fast forward, Rob, to 2019, we lose the House. We teed it up for these people to investigate, to cut off these funds, and my successor and all the Democrats did not. And so when you look at the Democrat media complex in Minnesota, they are wholly responsible for this. The blood is on their hands, the blood of the taxpayer funds, that is. And they need to be held accountable, just like poor Tim Walz is being held accountable. And Klobuchar thinks she's just going to waltz right into the governor's office, and people aren't going to realize that she's somewhat complicit in this for sure. Liz, I want to talk about what Walz had to say. That will be the plan of the Minnesota infrastructure. They will rally around Klobuchar. Walz has fallen on the sword. Let's get behind Amy. The Minnesota Business Partnership will support her, and things will keep going just like they have been, I'm afraid. Just like they have been. Liz, I want to get to what Tim Walz had to say about tackling fraud in his state. I want to get your reaction to it. Take a listen.
Make no mistake, we should be concerned about fraud in our state government. That's why over the past few years, we've made systemic changes in the way we do business. We've gone to the legislature time and time again to get more tools to combat fraud. A single taxpayer dollar wasted on fraud should be intolerable. My administration has been taking fast, decisive action to solve this crisis. We'll win the fight against the fraudsters. And I refuse to spend a single minute doing anything other than rising to meet this moment. Minnesota has always come first and always will.
Your reaction to that, I mean, he's trying to paint the picture. He's gaslighting the hell out of everybody in this country, painting the picture that he's been going after this problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would describe this just as a bizarre press conference. I'm not even sure if you can call it that. He took no questions. It only lasted about 7 or 8 minutes, came off very angry, but was rewriting history, I would say, for what we've seen from him for these last 7 years. Many political scandals on his watch, but this billion-dollar fraud scheme, it seems just too big to keep Governor Tim Walz on the ticket. It's $9 billion and counting, and multiple federal investigations now in Minnesota. And compared to mainstream media picking up on what Jason was talking about here, we've been one of the very few, certainly the most prominent, I'd say, in the state who actually has even criticized the governor at all with our factual reporting. And we have been for several years now with many stories about fraud and many other subjects as well. So I think this is a relief for taxpayers here in Minnesota, but will he avoid accountability? We see James Comer still demanding that he appear in D.C. on February 10th, so we shall see.
I got one quick question. I want a quick answer from both of you. I got 30 seconds left. I'll start with Liz. Do you think this takes down anyone else in your state? Is Ellison going to get taken out by this? Will anyone else feel this heat?
You know, I think the Attorney General has questions to answer. You have Congresswoman Ilhan Omar as well. The list is long in Minnesota. Jason knows this well. Yeah. This certainly isn't just a Governor Walz accountability situation. Many questions that remain unanswered at this point.
Yeah, I think Ilhan Omar certainly knew about this. You know how tight-knit that community is. What do you think, Jason?
That's going to determine whether Minnesota changes or not. If they rally around the flag, circle the wagons, and cover the tracks for every other Democrat, it's going to go on as normal. But if somebody else gets taken down, there's a signal. So we shall see.
Good conversation. Good to have you both on. Liz Collin and former Congressman Jason Lewis, thank you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.
Heck of a one-liner from the Steelers head coach. Take a listen.
If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.